At the Silverscreen Hotel, agents discuss their ongoing mission related to Proto-Core smugglers. After working overtime for 2 months, they anticipate vacation time. This marks their first collaboration since Operation Either Ordeal began secretly, though their busy schedule has limited their interaction. The conversation reveals a previous solo mission in the N109 zone 2 months earlier that disrupted Anikinis's Proto-Core auction. During this mission, an Aether core was allegedly acquired. The association launched a covert investigation into the chaos in Lincoln, with rumors about the Aether core spreading through dark web groups. Captain Jenna recruited the agent into a special operations team, suggesting they've stumbled onto something significant. The agent always believed the Aether core existed, but never thought there was more than one. If the smugglers possess a genuine Aether core, they plan to use it in their weapon. The team receives notification that they've been whitelisted in the hotel's security system. They're instructed to meet in conference room 3909 with 5 minutes until the operation begins. Evil technology will be transmitted through contact lenses to alter the target's memories, making them believe the agents are previous buyers. After the operation, the team discovers that all the Proto-Cores they found were fake. They discuss maintenance and repairs for their equipment. Simone's gear has suffered significant damage recently, with over 65% damaged in just 2 weeks, a figure that would have been higher without help controlling her evil. The team inquires about the Aether core after 2 months of searching. They examine a hurt knave's head that appeared on Fay Street without its body. The Proto-Core is believed to still be in the missing body. They detect a large beta Protocurve on the head. The captain explains recent strange incidents: Lincoln Bridge's main pier vanishing for 20 minutes, rainbow mists appearing simultaneously in 6 districts of Goldwood City, and an ice cream parlor in Ring Imperial Center flipping upside down. All incidents involve wanderers whose Proto-Cores can distort space, producing what they call beta Protocurves. Analysis comparing these Protocurves with those from the N109 zone Deepspace tunnel region confirms an Aether core is involved. The Intel Department and Advanced Tech Labs predict more beta Protocurves will appear, potentially indicating new Aether cores. As night falls, the team prepares for organizations lurking in Lincoln's shadows to make their move. The mission extends beyond collecting Aether cores to investigating organizations seeking them for their own purposes. The team splits up to avoid alerting enemies. There's advice to approach the operation as a marathon rather than a sprint, emphasizing patience over heroics. A conversation reveals someone having trouble sleeping. A doctor mentions that even if they collapse, another doctor will take over. They discuss analysis progress on a crystal and promise to share conclusive results when available. The doctor, despite being unable to sleep, plans to be productive with their time. Beta Protocurve activity is detected at a location. Someone offers to drive rather than letting the other person run there. They examine evidence showing Andrew has found traces 5 times, with beta Protocurve activity detected in each instance. The Wanderer may carry an Aether core or fragment. The Wanderer can move by distorting space, though they haven't captured a complete image of it. In areas where it appeared, many patients with Proto-Curve syndrome have fallen into coma or shock. A medical team from Oxo Hospital will visit Chancer City to treat severe Proto-Curve syndrome cases, suspecting a connection between these incidents. A mission is approved to confirm whether there are signs of an Aether core in Chancer City, with the Chancer branch already beginning operations. A representative from Xander Sciences named Carter expresses gratitude for the apprehension of Proto-Core merchants. which allowed the recovery of valuable Proto-Cores that saved many patients. Carter invites someone to dinner, but they already have plans. Zane appears, and Carter suggests the three of them dine together. The invitation is declined. Carter reminds them the outside world isn't as safe as Lincoln, and to be careful while traveling. This warning seems more significant than a friendly reminder. A hunter escort is assigned to a medical team. The hospitals claim to be doing an academic exchange, but they're actually going to help with a specific patient whose heart crystals differ from typical Proto-Core syndrome. When admitted to the hospital, the patient caused a metaflux burst that disabled all flux stabilizers in the ER. Dr. Zane cautions against making assumptions, noting that Chancha Hospital's aging infrastructure makes flux stabilizer malfunctions common. The patient's biopsy results require further analysis before drawing conclusions. Later, they discuss a patient on ECMO with crystals spreading toward the lungs, requiring urgent surgery despite complications. Comparisons reveal a wanderer resembling Mist, though with non-aligning protocurves. During surgery, the patient's blood pressure drops, requiring increased adrenaline. With unstable vitals making transport impossible, someone is instructed to compress accumulating metaflux with their EVOL while the surgery continues. The procedure concludes with an EVOL examination. A discussion about Aether cores occurs, with the speaker explaining they are not responsible for mutations. They cite the listener's heart integration as evidence. The speaker speculates that someone attempted something clever but failed, noting that many forces in this world covet the Aether core. After what appears to be a surgery, the characters discuss finding food since the hospital cafeteria is closed. One character accepts a compliment awkwardly, admitting they struggle with receiving praise but suggesting there might be opportunities to improve this skill in person. A patient has unexpectedly regained consciousness, surprising the medical staff. The patient is described as being at death's door before being saved. Shortly after, a representative from Xander Sciences arrives, claiming the patient is an important client whose fragile heart would have stopped long ago without their intervention. The Xander Sciences representative hints at ambitious research beyond current medical solutions, suggesting they alone can provide answers about the listener's heart condition. The conversation is interrupted when Dr. Zane requests someone inside, and the representative is asked to leave the ICU. The patient has made an abnormally quick recovery with normal vital signs. They describe being trapped in a nightmare-like state they couldn't escape from. Something was inside them, causing distress. The situation escalates rapidly, requiring patient transfer and resuscitation preparation. Someone awakens after being unconscious for 2 days. They discuss a shared experience in a ward and are encouraged to eat and drink to regain strength for finding the wanderer. The conversation reveals they are in what appears to be a dream or Proto-Field. The environment is described as a familiar dreamscape, though not as deteriorated as previously experienced. One character identifies it as a Proto-Field that regenerates quickly after damage. They discover eating sweets helps with thinking clearly in this scientific manifestation of evil. A disturbing encounter occurs with figures named William and Zane. The figures ask why they were not saved, referencing a child and requesting to be killed. One character reassures the other that these are just illusions, not reality. A warning is issued about throwing oneself into danger. Someone mentions seeking destiny as the path to redemption. They realize they haven't escaped the dream yet. There are 2 layers, and the wanderer remains present. One character warns the other about dangerous ice that shouldn't be touched. After a tense moment, one character reassures the other they're fine, but suggests not wasting time on them. They discuss how the nightmare will end, Noting that wanderers aren't the only threat, the character makes a concerning request to not go easy on them if they end up hurting the other person. One character acknowledges letting the other into this nightmare may have been a mistake, but feels responsible for ensuring their safe departure. They question if the wanderer is the only danger, suggesting the oppressive dream itself might be the real threat, one they fear they cannot wake from. A direct approach to problem solving is noted as possibly being a side effect of increased strength. Physical pain subsides and a reward is offered for professional escort services. Trust is questioned. They discuss how a mutated wanderer's Proto-Field defies normal logic and decide they must destroy the place. The characters prepare to end their situation before dawn arrives. After what appears to be a resolution, they return to reality, where others express relief at their return after 3 days trapped in a wanderer's Proto-Field. A strange device discovered in the ICU is mentioned. Analysis of the retrieved device reveals an intricate structure with a radio frequency chip that resonates with metaflux fluctuations. It can locate proto-cores and attract wanderers. The technology is described as beyond the capabilities of Xander Sciences, which is revealed to have been acquired by a group called EVR after its founder's death. The scene shifts to what appears to be a performance or demonstration. Someone interrupts what is described as a concert by feeding the orchestra, which the conductor finds audacious. The interrupter mentions being unable to work due to noisy seagulls requiring discipline. An invitation to afternoon tea is extended. The host mentions hearing rumors and suggests certain eyes are waiting for the next act since someone left the N109 zone. Problems are accumulating and a reward of choice is offered for something only the listener can do. An undercover investigation is discussed regarding a suspected illegal protocol transaction disguised as a jewelry auction. The high price suggests it's not an ordinary type, but without conclusive evidence, assets cannot be confiscated. A reward is presented along with an invitation to Maxwell's private masquerade banquet, commemorating how he met his wife, Gabriella. Guests will wear customized masks. Clothes and jewelry are prepared for a new identity as a talented opera singer accompanied by support staff. Proper etiquette at the banquet is discussed, with emphasis on clothes and mannerisms being under scrutiny. Standing too far apart might give the impression of an assassin rather than an associate. A suggestion is made to switch roles to allow closer proximity. The conversation concludes with praise for a bodyguard's competence. A conversation unfolds at an elegant banquet where attendees discuss a mask and brooch made by Maxwell for Yosef, who should be over 70 years old. A heated exchange occurs between a young man wearing Yosef's family brooch and other guests who question his presence. The young man is revealed to be Yosef's distant nephew, an opera singer, though his legitimacy is questioned. Maxwell thanks everyone for attending the banquet celebrating his 40th wedding anniversary with Gabriella. He mentions the yacht will arrive at an island where the event will be held. Maxwell addresses rumors about his gift for Gabriella, asserting its value goes beyond its monetary cost. Guests speculate the jewelry complements Gabriella's eyes. Behind closed doors, individuals reveal they've been acting to establish their cover. They discuss targeting jewelry and mention having enemies aboard the ship. One reassures the other about their physical prowess in potential confrontations. They plan a nighttime mission described as a magnificent performance on the sea. Maxwell is praised for spending a fortune to make his wife smile. Representatives from EVR Corporation attempt to persuade Maxwell to sell Jewel Reef Island, making veiled threats about ruining his anniversary event when he refuses. Security is subsequently tightened around both the jewelry and the deed to Jewel Reef. Two accomplices discuss their plans while recovering from their nighttime activities. One has injured their wrist. They debate Maxwell's character, with one seeing him as suspicious and the other describing him as a simple-minded, generous, wealthy man. They consider waiting until they reach the island for their opportunity. The guests arrive at Jewel Reef Island for Maxwell and Gabriella's anniversary celebration. The island features an extraordinary blue hole at its center, described as a rare marvel. The ceremony is scheduled for 7 o'clock, with transportation arranged to the Manor's banquet. The conspirators discuss their plan to get close to the jewelry when Gabriella wears it at the banquet. They explore the island, visiting the blue hole. One explains that the area was once part of the ocean, with coral reefs stretching across what is now grassland. They discover an antique ship in good condition with intact mainsail, jib, and hull. The vessel appears seaworthy despite its age. Their exploration continues as they reach another destination on the island, preparing for the evening's events. The blue hole is described as not only beautiful but also a place with extremely low oxygen levels where light cannot penetrate. Due to these mysterious qualities, rumors have emerged suggesting it might be a gateway to another world or hiding countless treasures. Without concrete evidence to debunk these theories, the blue hole remains shrouded in mystery, potentially concealing unimaginable secrets. Maxwell reveals that the gemstones in his jewelry come from the place where he and Gabriella fell in love. As part of his gift to her, Maxwell announces that he wants to give Gabriella the entire island. He explains that the blue hole is considered a rare wonder of the world and represents the heart of both the island and the sea. Maxwell has named the island Gabriella's Atoll in her honor. Someone advises another person not to stare too obviously at the jewelry despite wearing a mask. They suggest approaching Gabriella with flattery about her love story. The advisor reminds that they are perceived as connected to Joseph's illegitimate child, making their own love story seem complicated by comparison, which might earn Gabriella's sympathy. A plan is set in motion, with instructions to head to Maxwell's private collection room in the southeast corner when chaos erupts. There is mention of Maxwell refusing to sell the island, with conspirators discussing something important hidden on the island that must not fall into the wrong hands. Their conversation is interrupted by an unknown presence. Someone invites another person on a treasure hunt adventure, noting that the strengthening wind from the high tide creates perfect conditions. They warn against swimming and provide guidance through what appears to be a dangerous area, mentioning that only the undercurrent beneath the high tide and tiny fish know the treasure's location. They discover what is described as the island's cornerstone, which once bore the weight of Lemuria's past and future. It is revealed to be part of Lemuria's long-lost Tome of the Sea God. The tome speaks of oblivion and power, with a warning about those who borrowed power from the sea but ultimately betrayed it, mistaking tolerance for submission. Only those with a bond to the sea god can awaken the tome. After an encounter with the tome, both individuals receive gifts from it, though there is always a price to pay for such power. The dead deep sea and the sea god's power have been awakened, and the one who accepted this power must answer its call, even if certain futures have predetermined endings. A small device soaked in seawater was sent to Jewel Reef. Analysis revealed the seawater matched elements from Jewel Reef's blue hole. The device contained a radio frequency chip capable of attuning to metaflux fluctuations, technology only mastered by a leading authority in Proto-Core energy. News reports that many guests have gone missing from the island, and Jewel Reef has been sealed off pending investigation. some people may have willingly entered the blue hole, lost in the allure of treasure they sought for half their lives. One character suggests this might be a sweet dream for them. A conversation ensues about a forgotten promise and a bond protected by the power within the Tome of the Sea God. Two partners discuss a new lead involving smuggled painted Proto-Core fragments in coffee beans. One had to attend a coffee contest as a judge, hoping to find clues about Aether cores. They confirm a wanderer associated with beta Protocurve energy is related to the Aether cores. Information has been synchronized to their device, and they prepare to pursue this difficult wanderer. The pair are undercover as journalism schoolmates at Prestara University. They discuss how information about Aether cores is typically secretive, making this straightforward lead unusual. They attend a club recruitment event to blend in as students while investigating. They meet with the student council's vice president, who informs them that students who encountered the wanderer are waiting in a classroom for what they believe is a campus TV interview. A conversation takes place about seating preferences in class, with one person mentioning they usually sat in the back row, enjoying the sunlight and breeze. The discussion shifts to a series of incidents involving students, noting patterns that all attacks happened at night and targeted freshman students specifically. The group theorizes these students are being chosen for a specific reason rather than randomly. During class, a professor calls on students to explain the Morris-Thorne Wormhole concept, which is described as a traversable wormhole with a throat containing negative energy density matter that bridges two black holes. The professor confirms the explanation about negative energy keeping wormholes open, allowing for time travel. They suggest the deep space tunnel above might be a wormhole, enabling mysterious signals to reach Earth, possibly allowing materials or other life forms to find us through these cosmic channels. A character named Xavier is introduced along with Ulysses, an associate professor and old friend. Their conversation reveals Xavier is on a mission related to incidents at the university. Ulysses shares that he heard a scream and later learned a student was attacked by a wanderer, though not seriously injured. The discussion turns technical as they consider whether they're dealing with a modified wanderer. They realize the flux stabilizer cannot detect the necessary level of metaflux, but the research center's RMFMA, Reflective Metaflux Field Monitor and Analyzer, might. Fortunately, this advanced technology has been moved to campus. The RMFMA is described as one of the most advanced technologies in decades, capable of detecting slight fluctuations in the deep space tunnel. With fewer than 10 worldwide, many researchers have declined prestigious offers elsewhere to work with this technology. Upon investigation, they discover all data related to the Wanderer has been deliberately corrupted. Despite the research center being secure with limited access, they learn that new students recently toured the facility as part of a study event. Significantly, all 5 attack students were freshmen who participated in this tour. They meet the student council's vice president, who becomes a person of interest. While waiting for a student council meeting to end, they discuss strategy, noting that the suspect cannot escape the building. They prepare to confront or investigate him, suspecting he may be involved despite his good student appearance. A character describes themselves as a good student who paid attention in class. When asked about having a hidden side like someone named Soren, they respond philosophically that all aspects of their personality make up who they are. This leads to a new lead in the investigation. They encounter someone with memory issues following an attack. This person recalls a study event at the Deepspace Exploration Research Center where they and 4 others briefly experienced a frightening hallucination while the vice president was absent. It's revealed the RMFMA can create overlapping planes of existence. Realizing they've underestimated someone named Zoran, they rush to the research center. There, a confrontation occurs with someone possessing an Aether core who claims the protagonists took the bait. A tense standoff ensues between old acquaintances, with accusations of betrayal and abandonment. The confrontation escalates dramatically with threats and a sacrifice. References to Starfall Forest and a Proto-Field suggest dangerous cosmic forces at work. Someone uses an Aether core's power despite the risk of being devoured by the Proto-Field. Energy fluctuations temporarily subside, but could spike again. The characters find themselves in an environment based on someone's memories, possibly modified by Soren. They realize the forest is a trap specifically designed for one of them. Despite fears about what might happen next, they discover something that might help them escape the Proto-Field. They find a device capable of breaking through chaotic gravitational energy flux, potentially stronger than the Proto-Field, a system called Traceback 2. Phyllis 1101, PLS, comes online. One character mentions their homeland far away, revealing they were once part of a larger group, now reduced to just a few members. A verification process begins with password entry and identity confirmation. After successful verification, preparation for departure commences with free flight checks. Questions are encouraged with a promise of transparency. A cryptic phrase about slumbering in darkness is repeated. There's confusion about its source, followed by agreement about its meaning. The spacecraft's Proto-Core energy is critically low, making startup impossible. Despite recommendations to refill energy cells before takeoff, the decision is made to proceed with launch anyway, initiating countdown. Reassurance is given that EVOL can serve as emergency fuel for the spaceship, though only for short distances. This feature has saved the vessel during previous crises. The presence of someone with Aether core capabilities is crucial for resonating with and enhancing EVOL power. The countdown begins, and encouragement is given to continue. A confrontation reaches its climax as something reveals its true form, with preparations for a final attack. After the confrontation, there's fatigue but confirmation that everything is fine. Data and coordinates have been sent to headquarters, with police involvement expected within 15 minutes. This brief respite allows time for one song before urgency resumes. A reunion occurs with gratitude for items from the association's store. There's mention of verbal warnings and an inquiry about Prestera University, with pessimism about finding someone who remains missing. Ulysses discovers something important at a research center, a device with a radio frequency chip that resonates with metaflux fluctuations. Analysis and theories are provided about groups possessing similar technology. Discussion turns to EVR's impressive technological advancements, achieving with machines what people with evil couldn't accomplish. Suspicion arises about the unnaturally rapid pace of these breakthroughs, coinciding with increased wanderer appearances. A portable flux stabilizer is introduced that regulates metaflux fluctuations and reduces wanderer materialization. This product launch is viewed as provocative, suggesting the perpetrators have already hidden evidence of wrongdoing. Analysis reveals fragments belonging to the same Aether core, now officially named Spaceship Core. These fragments are held together by gravitational pull, with one piece notably missing. Special Operations priority becomes recovering this crucial fragment. Additional confidential information relates to an incident at someone's house. This sensitive material has been sent to a Hunter's Watch device for private review.